How good are your goals? How would you like to be able to write some really good goals that you'll actually stick to and will drive you forward in business? Hi, I'm Rupert Hine, Action Coach Business Coaching from Kinross in Scotland, and today I want to have a chat with you just about how to create some really good goals. Now, a lot of you will know that I'm into motorsport. Yep. One of my passions is sitting there in the middle of a forest, watching other folk enjoying themselves in a rally car. And it got me thinking, the really good rally cars, in fact, all rally cars, the rally drivers supported by a navigator. Why are they supported by a navigator? Because when you've got a navigator, the navigator's there to give you all of that definition, the absolute accuracy of where you're going, and make sure you do it. So there's something really important about having a goal that really does tell you where you're going and is something that you'll stick to. So what I want to do today is just talk about how we come up with goals. And I want to take you back to the topic we were talking about a few weeks ago, just about vision. So hopefully now you've become really clear on where you're going and why you're going there. You know that in 5 to 10 years' time, the mountain you're climbing is the vision that you've set yourselves. What you now need to do is to work out how to get there. And the analogy I think back to is something that came up in Brian Tracy's book, Eat That Frog. And it's about the French army crossing the desert in North Africa. And they had 500 miles of featureless desert to get across. And getting across there, they were going to be in the middle of a desert that they didn't know where they were going. It's going to be really easy for them to wander and stray. And if they get lost, there's no water, they're not going to survive. And so what they did was they set out a series of black painted oil drums. And those oil drums, they set out in a line across the desert to get them to their destination. So once they got that line of oil drums, 3 or 4 miles apart, they could always, wherever they were in their journey, see the drum behind them and the drum ahead. And by breaking that journey down into those 3-mile chunks, they could get there quickly, easily, safely, not get lost, and make sure they didn't run out of water. That's all we have to do in business. So when you've got your vision, you know where you're going to be in 5 to 10 years' time. It's nice and ambitious. It's going to drive us. It's going to inspire us. The next thing is to think, well, what do we have to do to get there in 5 years? So what's that sort of sub-goal? Where do we have to be in 5 years? And when we've got an idea of where we want to be in 5, let's bring that a bit further back. To get there in 5, where have we got to be in 3? And then the same thing starts to follow. So we now start to get a bit more specific. We now know that our route takes us to that place in 3 years. So if we're there in 3, what have we got to do this year? Now it's starting to get a bit closer to home now. It's starting to get a lot more specific because we're starting to look at stuff which feels real. And to make it feel really real, what we now need to do is say, what are we doing in the next 13 weeks, 1/4 of a year? Now these can start to be some really very specific goals. And I want you to challenge yourself to make sure that the goals you write are smart. So what's a smart goal? Well, to start off with, it's specific. So your goal is not going to be, I'm going to do more business. How much more business are you going to do? What does that mean? How many customers are you going to get? How many new products are you going to launch? How much business are you going to do? Actually break it down and make it specific. So this should be something where it's really, really easy to measure. Smart, specific, measurable. So we actually want something where we can say, yes, we did it, no, we didn't. So we're down to the number. So something in here has a number. It's about measuring. It's got to be something achievable. Achievable, attainable. Don't make it too achievable. It should feel just a little bit out of reach. It should be something that makes you think, that'll be a challenge, but not so far out of reach that you think, oh, I'm never going to get there. So this is about something that is attainable if you work at it. A couple of different things that you can have for R. The one I like is results oriented. So this is something we're not talking actually about, I'm going to make X of these. What am I going to achieve? What's the result? So I will have satisfied 200 new customers. I will have brought this new product that's actually delivering something for people to the market. It's about the results you're achieving. And then the T is time limited. So by the end of the quarter, by this date, we will have achieved that. So if you've created a goal for the quarter, which is specific, measurable, attainable, it's results oriented and time limited, you've got something really good to start with. So how do we stick to it? We bring it down further still. So we start saying, we now know what we need to do in the quarter. What are we going to do in this week? Create your plan. We do this at our quarterly Growth Club planning days. Get all of my clients, I work with 3 other colleagues. We bring everyone together and we have a really good day getting really, really clear on those 13 weeks of the next quarter's plan. Do the same. Bring it down. What are you doing each week? When you've got each week clear, then you know how you can plan a daily set of goals. And this is back to how do we make this actually happen? So this is a routine I want you to get into. So the routine is that the day does not finish until you've planned tomorrow. Say that again. The day does not finish until you've planned tomorrow. So the last task of your business day is to sit there and say, what do I have to achieve tomorrow to achieve this week's goal? So tomorrow my tasks are going to be X, Y, and Z. I can prioritize the order I do them in. We can talk about that some other time. But I'm really clear on what I've got to achieve tomorrow. I can then go to sleep. I can enjoy my evening. And in the back of my mind is starting to plan tomorrow. So when I wake up tomorrow and I review the list, it doesn't seem such a bad day. I've got everything planned. I'm ready to go. And if you start with getting a really good routine of daily goals in place, you're on the road to win. And when you're on the road to win, what you've got, your daily goals, start creating your weekly goals. So you've got it in your plan. What we're going to do is we're going to plan today for tomorrow. So Sunday night, what do? We plan the next week. 5-10 minutes, it's all it takes, but get really clear what are the key things that we're going to achieve over the next week. When we've got the week done, we can tick another box off our quarterly plan. We're 1 week closer to achieving our quarterly goals, and up it builds. And by being really clear on where you're going each day, you can build up to achieving those goals that you set that felt just that little bit out of reach for the quarter, the year, 3 years, 5 years. It's as easy as that. Takes a bit of work in the beginning to get the routine right, but are you ready to give it a go? So I'm Rupert Hine, Action Coach Business Coaching from Kinross in Scotland. Let me know what you thought of today. Let me know how you're getting on with your goals. And let me know in the box below what else you'd like to hear about. See you next time.